Welcome back to an episode of We Are again almost going to descend down this shaft. Time to go.
As you descend into the old tomb, you feel a faint tingle on the back of your hand, as if brushed by a breeze of magic. It gets stronger the deeper you go. The horde of souls, imbued with the Jade Staff's magic, its energy is staggering in its vastness.
General Erev, still trying to stop the inevitable, aren't you?
We've neutralized your entire army. You're cornered.
You killed only a fraction of our forces. We are growing with every single day. You think you have it all figured out, don't you? You think that if you kill us, the God of Light will go on his merry way. You are wrong. Now let's see what you are made of, General Erev. Fight me.
Ooh. What do we have here? How much? Ugh. Okay, let's just zoom out a little bit. I need to see things. 15,000, that is not much. There we go. Let's summon the golem. 3, 2, 1. What kind of aura is this?
General, not bad.
And what is the blessing of the oh, I have to spell her somehow, but I think I can't do that. Maybe this way. So, time for a nice heal. Oh, the skeletons don't get healed. That is sad. What is this thing actually attacking? It's hitting something. Oh, she has her own doppelgangers. Right.
Yes?
Okay, let's get a few meters away. There we go. And she disappeared. No, she's in... Oh.
Go ahead.
Right. What
How does that work? There we go. Maybe the building destruction thing works? Yes.
Good. That's enough.
By the... what is this?
Oh no.
A paralysis spell, imbued with the energy of the Horde. The end of our little game. I wanted to probe your powers, and now I have.
Like you tested and murdered Tahar?
So you know. No, I merely ended the suffering. You should have seen Tahar's soul when we met. Numb and raw, fragile and intense, shredded by the horrors of the past. For Tahar, life had become a torture. All I did was end the pain.
What are you trying to say? That you did him a favor?
Yes. I know that this must sound odd to you, but it's how it was. You see, for people like the Betrayer's child, there's no chance of getting better. Their souls are too damaged, and all that awaits them are years and years of pain. I spared Tahar that pain. Though, of course, protecting our mission in its early stages was also a factor. I couldn't risk anyone learning about what we were doing. Not back then.
Even if you kill us, you'll still lose. We've defeated your entire army.
We did suffer casualties, yes. But we're far from defeated, General. Also, we got what we came here for. Your staff has been destroyed and the Horde has been fed. Jakku is closer to being fulfilled than it ever has been.
Wait. Whatever you think your reasons are, Sheokdet is controlling you. You're corrupted, just like Rondar Lakain was.
I know.
You what?
I know I'm corrupted. But that doesn't mean that I'm not in control of my actions. I serve the God of Light because I choose to.
Do you really believe that?
I do. Remind me, General Erev, what happened in Empiria? That one mysterious day you lost your entire division and the town you were supposed to protect.
How do you know about that?
It's not hard to find the records if you have the right sources. Also, I'm a dream weaver, and you're like an open book. Now tell me, what happened?
I was trying to protect Cavill and failed. That's what happened.
So you're still suppressing the full truth. Interesting. You see, General, I don't doubt your good intentions. Which is why, when the people of Kavil and your soldiers fell under the axes of the orcs, they did so as a result of you thinking you were doing the right thing. Now, you may have an excuse for why it happened that way. In war, people die. You made a mistake. The orcs killed the people, not you. However, what you fail to see is that suffering is simply the result of conscious existence. It's what mankind does.
What are you talking about? That's nonsense.
Is it? Look at this world, General. Beggars starve under the feet of the rich. Soldiers die for their tyrants' greed. Plagues wipe out cities. Existence creates suffering. It's a simple equation. Therefore, the only logical solution to end the perpetual suffering is to simply end existence altogether. Jakku.
Are you even listening to yourself? Do you have any idea how much suffering you've caused?
A necessary sacrifice. And one that pales in comparison to that which mankind would inflict upon each other if it continued to exist.
This is just nonsense. Yes, there's suffering, but there's also good in the world.
On a personal level, maybe. In the grand scheme of things, no. You should know, General. You've seen war. And doesn't it give the lie to all our so-called accomplishments? What's a poem? What's a random act of kindness compared to the butchering that no animal would be capable of, but that we continually inflict upon each other?
Even if what you said was true, how does ending the world make it any better?
An emotional question. Existence equals suffering. No existence equals no suffering. Would any amount of suffering ever be preferable over no suffering at all?
You're mad.
Goodbye, General Erev.
Oh.
Your Majesty?
Interesting. So you're capable of more than wielding a scepter?
This ends now.
No. No, it doesn't.
Gone. Damn it, Your Majesty. How did you...
I came as soon as I could. Let us head back to Greykeep. We have a lot to discuss. Now, will someone explain why we did not see this coming? You were supposed to monitor the Crescent for Tarth.
Again, as long as we don't know where the headquarters of the Crescent are, we can't monitor them. We can only tail the assassins who show up in public. If you're looking for someone to blame, maybe start with your Royal Army commander who betrayed you. If you hadn't punished him so harshly, he might not have played the petulant child and let the masked woman into the keep.
Maybe. Either way, it does not matter. If there is a silver lining to this incident, it is that it confirmed that the masked woman really is one of the corrupted.
Surprise, surprise.
We had to be certain. The question is, has your memory come back, Skadar? Were you able to identify the remaining two corrupted as well?
I think so. Partially, at least.
Partially.
Yes. The masked woman severed the connection before I could make out all the details. But I know that one is an Empyrean man on the border between Hallett and Windwall. The other in Windholm itself.
That doesn't tell us much. If we were to find another artifact with enough magical energy, could you search the tapestry again?
In theory, yes. Finding another artifact with sufficient energy, however, would take time. And with the Horde of Souls even more powerful now...
We would lose more time than we can afford.
In Windholm. That must be Arrakis.
I had the same thought.
If it's him, he's definitely not aware of his corruption. My brother and the rebels have been monitoring him ever since his rise. He has never mentioned the God of Light.
As I said, that doesn't mean anything. The corrupted contribute to Jakku in all kinds of different ways. And if Arrakis' purpose in this was to simply cause chaos, then he succeeded.
Agreed. Besides, it is well past time we dealt with him. Hailstone, you said the rebels are ready to perform the coup?
Aye. But we'll still need your help.
You will get it. All that matters is that you neutralize High Hierophant Arrakis as swiftly as possible. Tell us your plan.
As you wish. Under General Aerev's command and carrying no banners, the Wolfguard travels to and lays siege to Windhelm. Arrakis will have no option but to send his troops out and confront us. While our armies clash, Malik and his people take up arms inside and blow up Arrakis's monument. Then, they use the ensuing confusion to deal with the remainder of the Windhelm Guard, proceed into the castle, and capture Arrakis and the higher-ups. Once we've won, we push on into the city and take out any resistance left.
So we're sending the Wolf Guard against the entire Bastion. Is that a fight we can win?
Well, I'll be honest, we're in for a tough time. But we can use the Windhelm Caves to our advantage.
How so?
Because the caves are comparably narrow. They'll only be able to send a fraction of their forces to confront us. And once Malik has dealt with Arrakis and thus cut off the Serpent's head, the Bastion will scatter like a flock of sheep without their shepherd.
Why blow up the monument?
To cause confusion. Also, Malik always had a weak spot for symbolism. And it doesn't get any more symbolic than this, does it?
I agree.
What are you gonna do with Arrakis once we have him?
Like I told you, we throw him into a cell together with his bootlickers and then reinstate the prince and repair the damage.
There still hasn't been any word from the Circle Mage, right? Yes, Grim?
No. He's still on his expedition up north. The last time we heard from him was shortly before you arrived in Northander. It's a little ironic. He could have been a big help in the fight against Arrakis.
We'll manage without him.
I thought the Crown didn't want an open war. Even if we let the Company or the Blackstone rebels fight and the Wolfguard marches without a banner, won't Arrakis connect the dots and realize Northander is involved?
I hate to crush your deception fantasies, but he's probably figured that out already. A dark elven, dwarven, and human army the size of the Wolfguard doesn't appear out of nowhere.
Vertarth is right. When the coup works, it does not matter what Arrakis thinks or feels anymore, as he will be reflecting on his mistakes in a dungeon.
And? If it fails?
We will not let it come to that.
Understood. I'll let you know when we march.
Music to my ears. And thank you, Your Majesty, for helping us.
It was necessary. Now, let us talk about the other matters.
Plenty of traitors pass through Hallett, and I'm sure there are several Empyreans among them. How are we supposed to tell this man from them?
Your Majesty, could he be?
My thoughts as well. Recently, a courier delivered an anonymous letter whose author requested a private audience with you, General Arev. He threatened that there would be consequences if we did not meet his demands. At first, we dismissed this as nonsense, until we were made aware of the fact that this man, who happens to be from Imperia, leads a considerable army of mercenaries. And just recently, they crossed the border to the Hallett province.
Wait. Someone sailed all the way over from Imperia with an army at his back just to talk to the general? Who is this man, and what by Ellen does he want from us?
That is a good question. I was hoping General Arev could shed some light on the matter.
I cross paths with a lot of people in Imperia. It could be anyone.
Well, then we need to find out.
How well equipped are we to handle these mercenaries if push comes to shove?
It depends. I doubt that by consequences, this man means that he'll send them right into a siege of the Great Keep walls. If I had to make a guess, I'd say that he'll most likely send them towards a smaller town to cause mayhem, and then disappear before our army has a chance to catch up.
Hit and run. They can do a lot of damage that way before the Royal Army can catch them.
Not to mention that our troops have enough battles to fight already. We have to avoid a battle at all costs.
What mercenary company are we dealing with?
According to our scout, they march under the banner of the Dust Devils.
Them? That's interesting.
What do you want me to do?
You will attend the meeting, find out what he wants, and dissuade him from this madness.
What? But what if it's a trap?
It is a risk we must take. Also, the Wolfguard will observe the meeting from afar and intervene if necessary. The meeting is to take place in an abandoned mine in Hallett. We shall send a courier once you set out.
Well, then we know what we have to do. We'll help the rebels overthrow Arrakis, and then meet this man from Imperia and deal with him somehow.
Correct. If we manage to take them out of the equation, then there is only the masked woman left to deal with. And we will find her. Vertarth. What about the Temple of Light? And that archaeologist the Crescent was after?
Still no clue about the temple, but we traced Merkel's movements to Everlight. We're doing all we can to find and bring him here as soon as possible.
Good. In the meantime, let us do what we can. General Arev, I have faith in you. Stop the corrupted before it is too late.
So, what do we have here? Proficiency or empowerment? Now, question. Which one do we want? Do we want an ability or do we want an attribute? I mean, an ability is kind of nice and all, but I think I'd rather want an attribute.
General, do you have a moment? I could use your help with something.
Your Majesty, believe me when I say that my threats are not empty. I know General Aleth is in your service, and the only way to prevent the bloodbath I warned your ambassador about is a meeting in the described location. You have 3 days. Interesting.
Hey, need something?
You said you needed help with something.
Yes, I do. The vinculum we recovered in Calibrock. How much do you really know about it?
To be honest, not much. Why do you ask?
Well, you saw what it could do. Revealing other realities, bringing objects from one reality into another. But I think it can do more. Rather, I think I can focus its energy to be more specific in what it reveals. With your help, I'd like to test it out.
Why do you need my help for this?
Because I don't know what will happen when we try to look at other realities. I figure it's better to be cautious, rather than try this on my own.
What do you mean by more specific? What are you hoping to see?
Well, if I'm to test this, I figure it's best to focus it on myself. Mostly I just want to see if it will work. But I will admit, I am curious. Don't you want to know what another you might be up to?
It would be interesting to see how things are different.
Exactly. For the first time, we might actually have the means to know.
How do we test your theory?
Well, I've identified several places we might be able to activate the device. If it works, we should be able to see something.
Okay, we'll check it out the next time we're out there.
Thanks, General.
Arev, do you have a second? There's something I wanted to talk about.
Sure. What is it?
I'll tell you, but not here. Come. All right, this is better. So, I've been thinking.
About what?
Remember that first conversation we had right after the village in La? I told you that sinners don't deserve absolution, that they'll be marked for the rest of their lives.
I do?
Well, I've reconsidered. Absolution exists, but we need to earn it.
How?
By overcoming our vices. If you acted out of arrogance, be selfless. If you were greedy, be generous. I know it sounds trite, but it's the only way to remotely make up for what you did. Wallowing in your misery and self-loathing won't help anyone. Not the dead and not the living.
Does that mean you've forgiven yourself for what happened to your family?
Forgiven? No. Not yet. But maybe I will, one day. I was arrogant, self-absorbed, and put my work above everything else. And that cost Atros and Jerobi their lives. But from here on in, I'll be better. Every day, I'll be more of the man who, had he existed back then, wouldn't have let the Bloodburn take his family. This is how I can atone.
I'm happy to hear that.
I am too. See, Erev, the reason I'm telling you this is that I wouldn't be here without you. You've inspired me. Probably without even realizing it.
Inspired you? How?
Simply because you kept going. You made a terrible mistake in Imperia, but you didn't give up on yourself. That's what you represent to me. The knowledge that we can overcome. It might not seem like much to a person who has never been through what we have, being responsible for such suffering. But I admire it. So I guess what I want to say is, thank you for being an excellent leader, an inspiration, and a good friend.
Well, the feeling's mutual.
Thanks, Erev. I need some time to clear my head now, all right? We will talk soon.
So let's end the episode for now and continue, of course, at another time. Until then, like and subscribe. Ta-ta!